Now for our last example here, we're going to take the horizontal NPV modeling and we're going to flip it to vertical, right? Sometimes your cash flows are going to look like this. So now we just have to make the adjustments to our code to make sure it handles a vertically aligned array that a user gives us versus that horizontal array. All right, so we're going to start by recycling some of our previous code. So we're going to start building from NPV Modeling Horizontal V2. Let's create some room here. We'll scroll down so we can see it all, and let's change our name. So we're going to be NPV Modeling Vertical, and copy that, make sure our output goes there. And now all of our inputs are going to stay the same. We still need discount rate, we still need cash flows, we still need our optional initial cash flow. We're going to stay the same up here, right? We still have to define cash flows equal to itself just to make sure Excel knows it's an array. We're going to have our same looping variables here as well. Now where things are going to start changing is down here first with our ubound function, right? Because now we don't want to know how many columns there are. We want to know how many rows there are because now the cash flows are organized vertically. To make that change, instead of the second argument being a 2 for columns, it needs to be a 1 for rows. So we're flipping that to 1 for rows. And then the other change, and really it's only one other change we have to make, is we have to change how cash flows is being referenced. So right now we're pulling the first row and then the ith column. So we're going across the columns. Now we need to pull from the first column and the ith row. So we're going to go down the rows, so we just need to flip these two. So instead of 1 comma I, we're going to be I comma 1. In our output in the immediate window, let's also flip this to I comma 1. So let's delete our immediate window. We'll also come back and comment out our old immediate window code. That way it doesn't confuse us when we look at our output. Now let's flip over to Excel. Let's try our function here. So let's copy our old one, reuse as best we can. So we're going to change this to the vertical modeling. But now we have to change. There's our initial cash flow. Let's pull this down here for now our series of cash flows. And now we get the same answer. Let's make sure the immediate window looks okay. It looks like everything's all right. We still see the present value of each of those cash flows as they're being added up. So all we've done is flipped it from a horizontal orientation to a vertical orientation by manipulating the ubound function first, and then how the array was called, whether we were going, again, across columns for horizontal or across the rows for a vertical array.